Today, we're going to get into one of the best contemporary romance fictions I've ever read. It's Kennedy Ryan's This Could Be Us. And this is not a book review. We're going to be doing something different. We're going to be fan casting this book, the entire book, everybody from Soledad down to the dog. You ready? Let's get into it. My name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. So, my husband and I, a lot of times, we will talk about who we would cast for Batman, Superman, all these different superheroes. And I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I saw this title that said, what did it say? What I'm delusional about. And I thought to myself, what can I be delusional about, right? I thought, why not be delusional about This Could Be Us? So we are going to fan cast This Could Be Us. And I did say we because I want you to drop down in the comments and let me know who you would cast for these roles. So let's get into it. My name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. First, I'm going to give you a list of the names we're going to cast. Then we're going to cast them with pictures. And then we'll do a little role play just so we can see what they look like while they're in the book, right? Okay, let's get into it. So we are casting Soledad, her mother, Caitlin, what's her name? Catalia, I think. I don't know how to pronounce her name, whatever it is. We are casting Edward, who is her husband. We're casting Amber, his secretary. We are casting him and Soledad's daughters, which is Lottie, Inez, and Lupe. We are casting Judah, his ex-wife Tremaine, his two boys, Adam and Aaron, and then we also have Yasmin and Hendrix in the mix. So let's get into it. So first off, I want to let you know, I did not go for the top of the top. I didn't start with like Angela Bassett and Denzel Washington. I figured, they're always in everything. Let's give somebody else a chance. Besides, I wanted this to be fun. And I recently saw one of my favorite actresses, and I had to put her in here. So, first off, we got Soledad as Kyla Pratt. Now, I remember Kyla Pratt as Penny Proud, and I love me some Penny Proud, right? Kyla Pratt is now 38 years old. Yes, ma'am. Kyla Pratt is 38 years old these days, and she is so beautiful. And then the mother, Kata Leah, I'm not sure. I don't know how to pronounce this lady's name. But anyway, I chose Alfie Woodard. Alfie Woodard is a spectacular actress who I feel do not get enough praise. I love me some Alfie Woodard. And I figured, why not? Right? Then I casted Edward, and Edward is Soledad's husband. I casted Lance Gross as Soledad's husband because I do not like Lance Gross, and he is a villain, so he's a villain in my story. But Lance Gross is 44 years old, so he's not too old for Kyla Pratt. Could you imagine Lance Gross and Kyla Pratt talking? Like, there's a part in the book where they're on the phone and Soledad says to, um, what's his name? Says to Edward, "Did you do it?" And he says, "Nothing they can prove." And I see Kyla Pratt and Lance Gross having that conversation. Can you picture it? And then for the secretary, who was Amber, and I'm hoping everybody's read the book, right? So for Amber, I chose a villain for her as well, and I chose Asia Epperson. So if you don't know who Asia Epperson is, she is the lady from Greenleaf. She was, I think, in season 3, if you watch Greenleaf, and she was somewhat a villain in there. And besides, like, I heard some things on the internet that weren't so nice about her. So I put her in the female villain role. And then for Lottie, who is 11, and they didn't give the ages of each one of the girls, so I assumed that Lottie was the youngest. They did say she was 11, and I chose Faith. What's her name? Faith Harmon. Yeah, Faith Harmon. She is such a cute girl. Now, this is a picture of Faith Harmon as a young girl, but at this point, she is now 17, and she no longer looks like this. But this picture seemed to fit my idea perfectly. And then for Inez, Inez was, I think, the oldest. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Inez was the oldest, and I picked Leanne Ross. If you don't know who Leanne Ross is, Leanne Ross was in Lovecraft Country, but she is also a phenomenal dancer. Phenomenal. She does all sorts of dance. I mean, just phenomenal. If you don't know who she is, look her up. You'll see a video of her dancing. It is outstanding. And then for the last daughter, Inez. Inez was the daughter that Soul's mother catered to because she had lighter skin and she liked her hair. And for that role, I chose Lexi Underwood. Now, if you don't know who Lexi Underwood is, Lexi was in Criminal Minds. She was in The Good Doctor. She's an up and coming actress. So, once you get to Criminal Minds and The Good Doctor, you are literally on TV now, you know. So she's an up and coming actress. She's a beautiful girl. And I chose this younger picture of her. She is older than this picture at this point, but I didn't want to show the older picture. It is a little bit harder to find child actresses and actors than it is to find adult ones. And believe me, this was a very hard process because there are so many people to choose from. And then for Judah, I chose I chose Aldous Hodge. I love Aldous Hodge. He I'm just watching Underground over again. So of course he's in Underground. He is in I think it's Jack Ryan. Is it? No, it's Alex Cross. And he's in the Prime series Alex Cross. He was in another series that I used to watch about like these thieves, and everybody has a role, and I think he was like the tech guy or something. But I love Aldous Hodge. He is such a great actor. And in Underground, if you see how he bucks those eyes out, it's hilarious every time I see him. I'm like, boy, put your eyes back in your head. And then for Tremaine, I chose Gina Tay Godlock. And Gina Tay Godlock is one of the ladies from the Triple Eight. Now, the Triple Eight is a Netflix series that is based on the book. Actually, I read part of the book, never finished it. It was good, but it was slow, and it was slow, but it was good, but it was slow. The Netflix movie was the same. It was good, but it was slow, and they didn't do a whole lot in it. But it is what it is. And then then for Adam, which is one of the twins, Judah's sons, uh, Adam is Asante Black, and Asante Black was in the TV show. He was in This Is Us, but he was also in When They See Us, which is about the Central Park Five. He was the little boy that they were saying that was, um, I think he didn't have representation. He was a little delayed or something. I'm not sure. And then for Aaron, I chose, his name is Chosen Jacobs, and he was in Hawaii Five O. Now I didn't see him in Hawaii Five O, but I liked his picture, so I put him in. And lastly, we have Hendrix and Yasmin. So Hendrix, I chose Kiki Palmer because she's got this cute afro and it just fits Hendrix, a black Hendrix anyway. I don't know if Hendrix is black. I believe Soledad is Puerto Rican or something, but she black in my book. And then for Yasmin, I chose Dominique Fishback. Now, Dominique Fishback is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, she is gorgeous. She was in Transformers and she was also in The Power Project with Jamie Foxx. And I felt like she fit Yasmin. Like when I think of Yasmin in the book, I can picture her. Um, but what she looks like in the Power Project is she is very young. I think she's a teenager, but she's actually, I want to say 20 or something. She's did I even check? She's, let's see. I'm sorry, Dominic Fishback is 30. So they are all within the age range. So now let's get into a little role play. So I have a couple of them, not a whole bunch, just a couple of them. So the first one is when Saul and Edward have that phone conversation, and you're picturing Lance Gross and Kyla Pratt having that conversation where she's trying to figure out if he did it or not. And then there's another part in the book where Yasmin, Hendrix, and Soul are talking, but they're talking over text. And so each one of them are in their respective homes. And uh, Yasmin and Hendrix wants to know what happened. And so can you imagine Kyla Pratt, Kiki Palmer, and Dominique, what's her name? Dominique Fishback, all sitting in their respective homes talking. And they're like, well, what happened, girl? What happened? Let us know. And Saul is kind of like, well, I don't really want to talk about it. Not now. I need some time to myself. I got to process. And they like, we got you. Don't worry about it. We love you. And she says, well, come over tomorrow and I'll make us dinner and we can all sit around and talk about it. And so, Hendrix and Yasmin, it's like, we love you and we'll see you tomorrow. Just imagine all three of them having that conversation. And then we have one more, well, two more. The next one is Saw has an event and she is making food and she looks up to see that Judah is at her event. Now, she was not expecting to see Judah. I do believe this is after the kiss. I'm not 100% sure. But she looks up and she sees him and he's looking at her. And they've got this chemistry going back and forth across the room. And she's, got all these thoughts going through her head about how fine he is and, this, that, and the other. And then he comes over and talks to her. And they're like both trying to play it cool. But the chemistry is like totally off the charts. Oh my God. Perfect. But this is Aldous Hodge and Kyla Pratt. And then the last one, they are still at the same event. And Adam, who is the older brother of the twins, he asks his mom if he can go and get his face painted, I believe it is. Ask him, can they go do something? I don't remember what it was. And so the mom says, yeah. And he runs off. And then he turns around, he comes back, he grabs his brother's hand and pulls him along. The other brother is the nonverbal brother, but he makes sure to bring his brother along. And I love it. There's another part in the book where it kind of seems like they're feeding off each other, that like twin vibe. One of them gets upset and the other one gets upset because he's upset. Oh, I love it. This was such a wonderful book. I enjoyed putting this together. I would love to know who you guys are going to cast for the parts. So the main parts I want to see who you guys would cast for is for Soledad, Edward, and Judah. If you want to cast the whole book, it's fine with me. If you want to cast some other characters, that's fine as well. But please let me know who you think of as the main female character, the villain, which is her husband, and her love interest. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, to like the video and do all the YouTube things like comment and subscribe. Until next time, see you soon.